Hello friends, welcome to 3D Zenith. Hope you are doing well. In this video we see the CSWE exam sample questions. This video is helpful for the individual who are preparing for the CSWE certification and want to know what type of questions are asked in the real CSWE exam. The solution of these questions are available in the separate video. You can visit and check the solution and get to know the exact way to solve that questions. You can refer the CSWE Master Series playlist. I will put the playlist link in the description box. You can check from there. Now moving question first, we have to do part modification. The part has 16 pins and we have to modify the pins into 12 evenly spaced pins. The image is shown in the right side, and then we have to measure the mass, and the unit of mass is in the pound, so we also have to change the unit. Command used are line, split line, delete face, circular pattern and combine. Now moving question 2, we have to do surface modification. Here the material is MMGS and we have to download the attached part and rotate the handle to the upright position, that is perpendicular position, and we have to measure the center of mass of that part. We can see in the right side image also. The command used are delete face, body move, boundary surface, surface trim surface, surface knit and thicken. This command we have to apply to achieve the exact solution. The detailed solution video is available, you can check from there. Now moving to question 3rd, we have to do multi-body part modification. Here the unit is IPS, means inch pound second, and the material ABS PC. Using the attached multi-body part, change the shape of the part shown in the image. You can see in the right side of the image, and we have to measure the mass of the resultant part. Command used here are extruded cut, circular pattern. Now moving question 4, we have to do the advanced sheet metal. Here the unit is MMGS, material is 1060 Oli. We have to import and convert this part to sheet metal. We have to provide the STEP file to the sheet metal part that can be flattened. K factor is 0.5. We have to do the flatten the resulting sheet metal part, measure the outer cutting length of the flattened part pattern. What is the outer cutting length we have to measure? Now moving to question 6, we have to do adding chamfer. We have to create a 45-degree 1-inch chamfer on the top slotted upper face as shown in the right image on the right side. Then we have to measure the mass of the part and mass of the part in the pound, in unit pound. So here command are used split line and draft. These two commands are used to solve this question. Moving to question 7, we have to modify the geometry. Cell thickness here is 1.5 mm. Measure the mass of the part. The image is shown in the right side, you can check with the image also. we have to measure the mass, and the unit of mass is in the gram. So the commands are used: pause, extrude, delete phase, revolve, cut, extrude, fillet, and sell. The series of the commands are written like first we have to do the pause, extrude, then delete phase, then revolve, then cut, extrude, then fillet, then sell. In next question we have to do the part modification. This is very interesting question. You can check the solution video also. So here we have to do the part modification. Unit is inch pound second. Modify the given geometry as shown in the right side image. Measure the mass of the part in the pound. So we have to change the geometry. Here the geometry dimensions are also given. The command are used is surface offset, surface fill, lobed, cut, extrude, fillet. Now moving to next question. Here is the combine common. It's very simple question if you know the trick how to solve this question. So here we have to convert the first geometry by using the combine command into the second geometry. The image is shown in the right side, and we have to measure the mass, and the mass unit is in the gram. Next question. Here the question is belt and chain related question. This question is slightly tricky, but if you know the logic behind it, you can solve this. So the image is shown in the right side, and all dimensions are also shown. So create the system of pulley and belt as shown in the sketch. Belt parameters are given. The dimension is driven dimension, and we have to measure the belt length in its driven state. So in driven state we have to measure the belt length. The angle A is 30 degree and angle B is 60 degree. So exact solution is available in the channel, you can visit there. Now the next question, very tricky question. Advanced weldment creation. It's very scoring question and also the tricky question. You have to play with the logic. So here the dimensions are given. The material is alloy 1060. Create the 3D sketch. First we have to create the 3D sketch as shown in the dimensions. So we have to know how to create the 3D sketch in the SolidWorks. Measure the total length of the sketch. Then after we have to measure the total length, and the total length unit is in the inch. Here not in like the previous question in the mm. Here we have to measure it is in the inch. Here again one question related to combine common. So here similar type of the question. We have to convert the first geometry as shown in the right side into the second geometry and then measure the mass. So the commands are used: move, copy body, and next command is combine. Now the most tricky question here is assembly modification. This is the parameter given. We have to create the pipe system using the SolidWorks. The image is shown in the right side. Left control line for the spline 200, right control line for spline 300. These are the parameter given. And pipe thickness is 1.5 mm. We have to create the center of mass of the only pipe. So we have to measure the center of mass after creation the pipe. Now in the next question we have to create the spring. We can say the circular spring. So these are the dimension given here. Material is brass and the unit is mmgs. So we have to create the spring shown in using the following image and dimension. Wire diameter 5 mm, number of coils 50. Measure the mass of the resulting spin. The spring mass we have to create. We have to measure the mass of the spring, and the mass is in the gram. Now in the next question we have to use cut with surface. This question is like interesting. So we have to insert and the cutting surface and the body to cut. Measure the mass of the resulting body. The mass of the resulting body in the grams. We have to measure the mass in the grams. So two bodies are provided. One is cutting body and second is body to cut. And we have to apply this to get the image shown in the right side. Now moving to next question, we have to do the surfacing part. So in this question we have to do the modification in the part given and create the new part shown in the image right side. Using the attached part, imported part, using the surface tool, rotate the component shown in the image and create the solid part. And we have to measure the part of the resultant body after modification. Here the dimensions are given. You have to modify the part. Now in moving to next question, here the assembly configuration and BOM part. Create bill of material of only the part in the assembly. Activate configuration 1 in assembly. Part configuration grouping option. Display as one item number active. Use the BOM to find the item that have the configuration 3D Zenith as the active configuration. The detailed solution of this question is available. You can check. I will also put the link of that video in the description box. You can check. It's there. You can get an idea how to solve this type of question. Now in the next question we have to create a spring. Here in this type of spring, the previous spring is related to circular spring. This spring is not circular. We have to create a spring as shown in the following image. The wire diameter is given in the inch, 0.08 inch, and the number of turns. Measure the mass of the resulting spring. This is the dimension given. You can follow with the dimension. In the next question we have to cut with the surface. Here two bodies are given. We have to create a resultant body by applying the cut with surface commands. So download the assembly file containing the part A and part B. Here the two parts are given. Create the part shown in the figure using the cut with surface command. Measure the mass of the resulting command, and we have to give the mass in the pound. So we have to apply the cut with surface command and measure the part of the resultant body. The mass units is in the pound. So hope this video is helpful and you will get an idea what type of questions are asked. You can visit on my channel to check the solution of these questions. If you're preparing for the mold making, the playlist is available. The playlist for the sheet metal is also available. You can visit to check. Thanks guys for watching. Have a good day.